by Dutch management researcher Hofstede. The aim of the study was to determine the dimensions in which cultures vary. There are 6 categories that define culture based on Hofstede. Number 1, power distance index. Number 2, collectivism versus individualism. Number 3, uncertainty avoidance index. Number 4, femininity versus masculinity. Number 5, short-term versus long-term orientation. Number 6, the last but not least, is restraint versus indulgence.
Hi, so today I want to discuss about power distance in Japan. Power distance is the degree to which people of a culture accept the difference in power between higher-ranking individuals and lower-ranking individuals. The main issue here is how the society deals with the inequalities between people. In an organizational environment, power distance conflict can occur by creating multiple levels between people based on power, authority, prestige, status, wealth, and others. Japan has a mid to high ranking on power distance. This means that workers in Japan are more likely to listen to their superior and not question their decision. Japanese are always conscious of their hierarchical position in any social setting and act accordingly. However, it is not as hierarchical as most of the other Asian culture. Japan is considered to be more advanced democracy when comparing to other Asian countries. Some foreigners experience Japan as extremely hierarchical because of their business experience of painstakingly slow decision-making process. All the decisions must be confirmed by each hierarchical layer and finally by the top management.
France country is a high power distance indicate that people of France accept an inequality. It means upper class people dominate on lower or middle class people. In management, the attitude toward manager is more formal, the information flow of hierarchical. The people in the lower stage of hierarchy accept the fact that they are being ruled by the higher authority. Many comparative studies have shown that French companies have normally 1 or 2 levels more than comparable companies in Germany and the UK. Example, jobs are better protected in France than they are in the UK. This means that employers cannot easily dismiss their employee, so they need to ensure their employee to the right person from the beginning is high. French workplaces are much more formal than in the UK. We also notice that higher class in France people will try to avoid lower class people. They often judge the person on how they dress up, attitude, and the body language. If a person is worn a bit poor clothes and asks for a direction, you will notice that there are no one coming to help him or her. By this, we can get a pretty clear picture about their social distance and power distance at France country is a high. That's all.
So I'm gonna talk about individualism versus collectivism in Japanese culture. The fundamental issue addressed by this dimension is the degree of interdependence a society maintains among its members. It has to do whether people's self-image is defined in terms of I or we. In individualist society, people are supposed to look after themselves and their direct family only. In collectivist society, people belong in groups that take care of them in exchange for loyalty. Japan's score is 46 on the individualism dimension. Certainly, Japanese society show more of the characteristic of a collectivistic society, such as putting harmony of group above the expression of individual opinion. And people have strong sense of shame for losing face. However, it is not as collectivistic as most of the other Asian countries. The most popular explanation for this is that Japanese society does not have an extended family system, which form a base of more collectivistic society, such as China and Korea. Japan has been a paternalistic society, and the family name Azie was inherited from father to the elder son. The younger sibling had to leave home and make their own living with their core families. One seemingly paradoxical example is that Japanese are famous for their loyalty to their companies, while Chinese to job hop more easily. However, company loyalty is something which people have chosen for themselves, which is an individualist thing to do. You could say that Japanese in group is situational. While it's more collectivistic culture, people are loyal to their inner group by birth, such as their extended family and their local community. Japanese are experienced as collectivistic by Western standard and experienced as individualist by Asian standards. They are more private and reserved than most other Asians.
Hello, I'm Melvia Olivia Nablasan. So, for uncertainty avoidance, it means that members of society feel uncomfortable with uncertainty and ambiguity situation. For height, uncertainty avoidance means that members or employees or colleagues maintain rigid codes of belief and behavior, are intolerant of unorthodox behavior and ideal. High uncertainty avoidance can be seen in a less open attitude towards what is different and foreign. For example, Japan is a country that have a high UAI, uncertainty avoidance, in which they tend to be less comfortable with any type of uncertainty and they tend to follow with rules and regulation and prefer to avoid any risks and more comfortable living with the daily norms that they have. For example, IKEA is a Sweden company that sells furniture. In 1974, IKEA trying to enter Japanese market by joint venture with the Japanese company. However, they withdraw themselves that years. This is because of Japanese culture do not familiar with the do-it-yourself concept in which consumers are allowed to decorate, repair and build the product by themselves. Overall, Japan dislike taking risks and to be put into uncertainty situation. To curb this problem, foreign company can do some research, survey, questionnaire or interview with the local people in Japan country. This is to understand very well their norm, culture, what they likes and dislikes about the foreign company
Knowledge
products.
of different culture to know is important because different culture they need to tolerate with a different set of belief regarding motivation, regarding organization, practice and culture. This technological era, making an effort to search about different culture is important because by making an effort to do that, we can remove any racism or prejudice against other culture that different from us. So when we are unfamiliar of a culture, we should make research to have a better understanding about some culture value that can be major factor for success in international business activity. So in conclusion is that they must know the consequences or the possibility of what they may face during decision process because they need to come in an agreement with two parties that difference in cultural factor. And in the business context, the manager or leader must build teamwork between the two countries because accepting and integrating element of cultural diversity and practice to adopt decision from organization and subordinate in different perspective is important.
Don't stay awake for too long, don't go to bed, I'll make a cup of coffee.
There are 6 categories that define
In France country is high distance.
In the context of business is that for speak culture.
By creating multiple